Why, hello, hi, it is I, small time Didi, your honey on the internet, and I'm back in my baking room. As if anybody gives a shit where I record from. Is it a mess in here today? Yes, it is. I was baking. I just got trying to get my Wendy Williams on. Some things at the oven. Y'all see. It's like literally about to go midnight. It's 14. And I just got done working, sort of, and we are done up on here on the internet to get into it. I was so excited when this show came on. I'm like, there's something new for me to review that I actually enjoy watching. I thought that I would review, what was this, Birth of Stars, but there was nothing for me to chew on, to really come down here, up on here, and have a conversation with you all. So I just consumed it for my pleasure, and I enjoyed it, and I watch it for myself, right? Really nice. It's up on the YouTube. But we are down here to talk about Showmax's new reality show. It's a show that is focused on women who work in the sex industry. So there's some porn stars in here, some strippers. We also have a massage therapist. I can't place the sexual elements, but it sounds like she was a stripper before. The name of the show is This Body Works For Me, and we're just gonna get straight into it. And like, the first episode is really our intro. We get to figure out who all is on the cast and what part they play in the sex industry, or however it is you word that. I'm not sure. So we're introduced to Xoli, whom I'm not aware of, and I'm embarrassed. Apparently she's like the biggest porn star on our continent, on the African continent. Shout out, the only continent I say what I say. But like, I don't know her. She has that body that everybody's paying monies for. I don't know if she had to pay those kinds of monies. Her thighs and bum look very proportionate. So maybe she just got the tummy did, but let me not speculate. She just has that body care, the one that they say, if you don't look like this, you are invalid. As a woman, why the fuck are you even here? Why don't you look like Xoli, you know? The one they make us feel bad about. And then we meet Wendy. I already have favorites. Y'all know me. If you've been here when I was doing the Real Housewives of Cape Town, then you know I pick favorites. I can't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I have favorites. Wendy is my faves. She seems to be the youngest on the cast. She's 21. Dark-skinned chubby girl from Katlehong, and she's real. I think I like her because she's not hyper aware of the construct of reality television and how it works. She's almost not interested in trying to weave a narrative for us to follow with. She's just showing up as herself, so it makes her, oh my god, real and authentic. We're still on the budget shit. Literally, this is all I have left because I didn't go buy anything today. I'm like, you know what, I'll just down this and go to bed. But I won't, because I'm sitting here recording with you all. We meet Wendy. We meet her family. She lives with her grandmother. I'm not sure if her mom lives with them full time, but they seem to be in like a multi-generational household, as is really the norm in South Africa, is it not? Like, a lot of us are raised by our paternal grandmothers, even if, our maternal grandmothers, even if it's for a brief period. We are in a house where, because men run off, we're in a house where it's grandma, mom is there, there's a house full of children, we start making babies in the same house. It's a whole cultural thing. I'm gonna try to get through this as quick as possible because I'm going off on tangents today. I can already tell I'm having one of those days. But anyway, we meet her family, we meet her two sisters. One is Wahida, sorry. And they're young, they're teenage girls. The eldest is 17, and I don't know how, the eldest is her, Wendy. She's 21 years old. Her younger siblings, two girls, Wahida and what's the other one's name? Nandi. Is it Nandi? Oh, I made notes, you guys. Now I can't find a girl's name. Ntombi. Yeah, Ntombi and Wahida. Those are her younger sisters. They're quite, so we see them sitting around as a family, and they're talking about report cards and the fact that the mom is not around. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure what the living arrangement is. Does mom live or work elsewhere, comes back when she's able to, and maybe that's why the dynamic is what it is, because they're talking about the fact that they haven't seen the two school-going girls report cards in like the last 2 terms. And then but they're like, but Gogo can't be the one to go and fetch the report. So everybody's like, hello, you as the elder sibling, why aren't you going to fetch? So you already start to establish the dynamic of her being the default parent. This has been a conversation on like everywhere, that like the eldest, and really the eldest daughter, if the firstborn is a boy, he can opt out of that like de facto parent or whatever it is they're terming it, or the surrogate parent, I don't know what they're calling it, but where you essentially have an absent father or physically present but otherwise absent father. Y'all know men opt out. I say this all the time. So if you're the eldest daughter, you pick up very early that your mom needs help to make this make sense, and you really like lose out on a bit of your childhood to essentially help your mom raise your younger siblings. That dynamic is showing up here, right? And I think we're gonna see it play out as well in terms of like her earnings using her body and how that contributes to the household and what have you. But let me not get ahead of myself. Why is there a mosquito when I'm just trying to chat with you guys? Like, what the hell? Okay, then we meet Nelly. Nelly is my least favorite. She's my least favorite, I find, and not for anything. She'll probably grow on me. I don't hate or really dislike anybody. It's just if I was to rank, she's not ranking. And she's hyper aware. She's not good for reality television, right? Like the first season of a reality show, everybody just needs to be whatever, you know. She's hyper aware. She's pushing image. She's selling things. She's weaving a narrative, and it's hard to, she's not palatable because it's very much like, here, I'm stripping. Here, I also make a song. Let's listen to the song that I made. This is my award that I want. Literally, that's what we get with her, and I'm bored. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, girl, I get it. Pretty girl, we learned that she's a PK. That's a preacher's kid or a pastor's kid. I don't know. And then that she was in school to be. We have bride girls on here, by the way. She's starting to be a nurse, and she just didn't finish her 4th year because the stripping staff took off. She's a stripper, right? And she's also a musician. She plays, it seems like she dabbles in Afro beats and stuff. When I heard the song that she was playing, and she showed us some award that she said she won in Namibia for up and coming artist and what have you. So we actually get to know a lot about her. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. So let me not say she's my least favorite, but I just feel her entire shtick a little put on. I can't, like, it's not palatable for me. We then cut to a scene where we're meeting Xoli and her boyfriend. She's got, you know, that traditional type of band, like that the Zulus wear, or Ngunis. I don't know if she's Koza or what. Like, I forgot to listen out to read what it is that she's about. But she's wearing a band that clearly signifies that they had just had like a cultural ceremony of sorts. And then she's explained to her boyfriend that I've just been home, I can't like be engaging in the physicals, the sexuals of it all for at least a week. And then the boyfriend acts like the world is coming to an end. Like, oh, what do you mean? But I think this was just a way for them to establish for the audience that they are in somewhat of an open relationship or an adventurous relationship or whatever, like a polyamorous, whatever, but they can see other people provided the other knows what the other is getting up to, and I don't know with whom, if that's part of the arrangement. But we learned that about them, and then her manager comes. I forget the manager's name, but I'm immediately uncomfortable. Did I write his name down? I'm immediately uncomfortable because I'm like, yet again, here is a man profiting of a woman's body. And the conversation around legalizing sex work and stuff is these little, like, the nitty-gritties of it all. How is it really actually going to run? She seems appreciative of her manager. She feels like he's on her neck about pushing content, but my mind, for whatever reason, cannot get away from like the pimp and like whole thing. Like I can't, that dynamic, even if you as the porn star are technically his boss, I still feel like that dynamic is still there, because this man is essentially profiting and making a living off of the sex industry without having to do the sexual shit. You're having to go out there and do the sexual shit, and then he gets a cut. Like, we need to work out a thing there. And it's a very, very tricky thing as well, because I'm like, you need the muscle, so to speak. We're gonna learn later that it's actually quite vital. But it seems like Xoli's pushing like OnlyFans type content. When I searched her name on the Googler, the second thing that popped up was Pornhub, because I think she has a sex tape that went viral. I'm gonna watch it before I go to bed for you guys. Yeah, the things I do for you all. It's a lot. One delay. Xoli's man Nelly says about the lifestyle. Oh yeah, Nelly, more of her trying to plug us onto whatever it is that she's on for. Right. Let's see, I'm gonna have to edit this shit out. I don't know how. And then we meet Samke, or Samkelo, I don't know if that's her full name, but we meet her and she lets us know that she went to school for BCom economics, and then she ended up doing teaching. Sweet girl, like, she's another one that stole my heart. She seems real and open and real. I don't know, like, you know, she doesn't seem like she's putting on an act or performance. This is me, this is who I am, I come like this, take it, you know. I like that. And she explains that she saw her mom use her body to provide for them, and her mom would say, I'm doing this to provide for you guys and stuff. So it wasn't not necessarily a natural progression because she went to varsity. She had the option to do that. She explains that she had an OnlyFans, and then her material on OnlyFans was leaked on Twitter, and it blew up, and people were being so rude about her, talking about why is her body like that, why is she dirty, this, that, and the other. You know how you guys hate black women, like how you believe we're not like sexual, like when we're seen in porn, it's like, oh my god, why are they like, fuck you guys. I mean that. Anyway, we meet her, and then we also meet a friend of hers, and I'm not sure if this friend is supposed to be her manager as well. Again, a guy. And at first I was like, is that Mushendiki? Like, at first I was like, is that like, but no, they're just like lanky and have that Mushendikiness thing that, you know, there's a type of person that looks like that. Okay, great. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't act confused. We see them and they go over to another friend. This scene felt forced to me. It felt like, and reality television producers do this thing, and I need them to stop. Come watch my video so that you guys stop doing this with all of my 200 subscribers. I love you guys for being here, by the way. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe, you guys. Please do that. I forget to ask you guys to do that every video, but like, gelobela, some blues. You guys do this thing where you try to make like these people know each other organically. None of that shit is necessary. This is about people who work in this industry, right? Two of them may have crossed paths or whatever. In this case, that's Xoli and Wandi. They're friends and they've done a viral tape together. And then we see in this scene, the friend, the Mushendiki one, calls Oli, and he's like, oh, I'm with Samke, and she's like, Samke man, like Jensen, like who they, like, and he's like, oh, the girl who trended on Twitter, blah 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 blah. And I suppose they exist in the same bubble or community. So if he's gonna say a girl trended, Oli's mind should automatically go in like porn Twitter, like, do you understand? Versus like lawyer Twitter or like, you know. So this feels forced to me. They could have easily just had like a thing where I feel like they need to get into this. If the cast doesn't know each other organically, simply have the girls meet up for dinner. Be like, we want to start this show. We want these girls to meet each other. The forced weaving of this is how the relationship, and like, then it came this way, and it's not believable. Samke, because she's, like I said, gives off like such an authentic feel, felt out of place in that scene. The two friends were doing majority of the talking and trying to like lead or ask leading questions and try to direct the conversation. Like, it was like so awkward. I didn't like it. And then we meet Prudence. Could you guys explain to me why these shady ass people showed us ZCC? If you missed it, please go to Prudence's, who goes by Prima Donna. That's her stage name. She's a stripper. Can you guys please go and watch that scene? But wancha beche ya ntate ya lechanyane. Why are you guys doing these? Why are you guys doing these? Prudence also sounds exactly like what I just did, and I'm really sorry I did that. It's just these, you know, like, I like real betcha. She's a twang, and all the girls, these girls are bad. The girls talk so much shit about each other in the confessionals, you guys. Like, I'm like, oh, y'all even like each other? Like, they're like, una liar. That one is a lie. But then they were sitting at the table just grinning at the lie. Like, I mean, I guess that's what you do. But it's like some of the things, the girls are trying to one-up each other. Like, who's a better bitch? Who's a hoe? Who's a stripper? Like, ooh, they were doing all of that. And then in the, like, one always, do you know who's a liar? Or gives off liar energy? Let me not call her a liar. But she reminds me of this girl in my ghetto with a big head and nothing really going on. And they're the same thing, except this one is a real compulsive liar. Proper. Like, needs help. Send help, somebody who's not me. Nelly lies. Nelly is always trying to push a narrative of letting us know that she's the one, she's the main one. Oh my god, whatever, go by. Anyway, we meet Prudence, Prima Donna, who is a twang, and we learn that she was born in Soweto. We learned that. And then they show us, they flash to Beche and Tate for no reason. You're shady as fuck. We see that. We learn about her. I also like her though. I find her sweet. I do find her sweet. Her and Samke have this sweetness thing about them. I like that. Nelly, please go away. Wendy goes on a date. Wendy meets up with her. I can only assume he's Nigerian, but he's not South African. Meets up, he has an accent. Meets up with her boyfriend at somewhere, at a station somewhere, because she says that's where they are, at the mall. That's where they meet up. She commutes using public transport and stuff, and then that's their meetup point. I need to get this out of the way because then I'd just be a liar. I'm a big girl. I think I say this every other video, right? But unlike other big girls, well, that's not true. I fall in the group of the girls who've been big all our lives, or most of our lives. When we came or we gained some awareness about who's small, who's large, who's ugly, who's pretty, we were already at this weight or bigger than our peers. So we learn early on how to dress. And this is not me trying to body shame or police Wendy because she's my favorite. This is because I went on her Instagram and you can tell that she was a smaller girl. Her chub is new. I love her confidence about her chub. This is her industry. I understand why she dresses the way she dresses. I don't know if that's necessarily how she wants to present herself at all times. Because personally, I don't have my baker hat on at all times. Sometimes I'm just Didi. Sometimes I'm just a friend. Sometimes I'm just being a rahadi to my niece and nephew. So, like, do you understand? I don't need to always wear my I bake. Do you understand? So on this date, she shows up dressed like she's walking into a scene on OnlyFans that she set up with Todd to come to us with the bullshit. Like, and I'm just like, is she just young? She's 21 and she doesn't realize that she doesn't need to be doing that. That's she'll figure out at some point if she wants a separation. But outside of that, her clothes are like 2 sizes too small. I'm not even saying change the type of clothes. I'm not even saying, oh, don't wear a mini skirt or whatever. What the fuck you want, girl? But wear something that fits. Wear something that looks like it's the right size. Because as a big girl, I can't imagine her using like public transport, how many times she had to pull that skirt down. That discomfort, that constant, like you're on the clock, just managing your clothes and stuff. But because she was smaller, maybe it's taking a little bit of time for her to realize that she needs to size up. Not necessarily change her wardrobe. Personally, I would want some time off from being like an OnlyFans baddie. Like, ngabarai kiba, and just go to the spaza. Like, I don't know. But I had to get that out of the way. She meets up with this boyfriend of hers who seems like he reminds me of all the TikToks I'm being flooded with of our South Africans just having like undertones of xenophobia, calling people jollof and jollofinas and things like that. But this dynamic mirrors that side of TikTok. I am very proud of Wandi. She's very, very bright. She's not like you dumb bitches who let these men run you over and come into your life and promise you the moon and whatever, and then you just believe them. For a 21-year-old, she's like, I don't believe him. Like, he just says stuff. This man says that he wants her to quit OnlyFans and pretty much the work and porn, right? He wants her to quit that, and she's like, no, I'm not going to quit that. Will you give me the money that I make doing this work on these platforms? And then he's like, how much do you make? She's like, I don't have to tell you how much I make. You know I make more than what you usually give me. And she gives a number. She's like the 2K you give me don't really do shit. Like, I'll buy like a little eyeshadow, a little makeup, whatever. But it's not really hitting like the way you think it's hitting. And how do you sit there and tell me to quit my livelihood when I don't even know what your intentions are with me? When you've never made your... Then he starts talking about how I want to buy you a house. Guys, this edit killed me. Guys, please go watch it at this point where he says, I want to buy your house. They literally cut to her in the confession and she's like, ah. Man is like, fuck you. Like, I don't believe you. And then he says that he wants her to open an account for him. Like, basotole skema? Wuji, basotole skema? And I'm a... not me saying I'm a bigger again, but the point is, if it relates to the conversation, like whatever, we're gonna have to talk about it. People tell me all the time that, oh my god, like the Nigerian men will really love you. The Nigerian men love anybody they think they can use. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's not a flex to be like ginoli kura, like Nigerian men love like a little chub. Like, shut up. I love me. It's okay, it's enough. Okay, you won't need to stop saying that to me. Okay, I know why you're so single, Diddy. You know, if you were in like PTA, girl, no. You guys don't love nobody. This man says to her, ask her, do you make at least like 100K or something? Because like, if you open an account for me, I could deposit like money for you in there in little increments, and it will get to 100K and whatever. Yo, she's never dismissed. She's like, then she's like, yeah, I'll think about it. And then he's like, oh, when will she, whatever. She's like, don't hurry me. Like, don't rush me. That girl has game. Wendy has game. As older women, we need to like sit down and take some notes. Okay. We can tell her to size up, but that's about all we can tell her. This girl knows what the fuck she's doing. We cut to the next scene. Again, she's dressed. I think she's going to work here because she does sneaky links. So from my understanding, that's when you extend a service to your audience on OnlyFans that they can book you for sexual favors. Like you can link up with them and they can actually have their in-person experience. We see her, she's wearing this gold two-piece thing, guys. Literally I'm sorry, it's a swimsuit, I don't give a shit. The little bralette thing, get a rectangle jetting with, like, they look imagine my nipples are here. That's my girl. She gets in the car anyway. It looks like an Uber, I can't tell, but she gets in the back, right? Her little sister sees her off. She gets on the call with Xoli, and they talk about when they're gonna link up again and what have you, and and then we cut to the next scene and they're meeting up to have lunch. And then Xoli's telling, Wanti's telling Xoli that, you know what, I'm using an Android. One point, like, I got mugged. Like, they took my iPhone. I had a sneaky link situation. It was like a catfish situation. It was a mock, and they asked for, they took my phone. They took, like, the passwords and things like that. And Xoli seems so disappointed because she's like, she made so much money off the tape that we made together last year. I was hoping that she would at least see that the sneaky link thing needs to stop and she just needs to focus on the content creating avenue because it can sustain her, because this is dangerous. But Wandi says in her confessionals that she's not going to stop this sneaky link thing. So I don't know if she just likes the sex as well, or whatever it is they do when they link, or the supplemented income plus the OnlyFans. She's also young, and this is where the danger is for me, where I'm like, these are the elements where you get the men coming in to act as muscle, and then sooner or later they start taking advantage of you because they want a larger cut, right? They hook you on the drugs. This is exactly how it happens. Now you're literally being pimped by this other person and he's no longer employed by you. So I don't know how the girls in the industry are going to work around the security issues where they still maintain some sense of autonomy over their bodies, where they maintain the hierarchy of power, where they are the employer and the muscle is under them. I am not sure how the girls are going to work around this, but I want that for them. Really, I do. And that's about it. That's what happened in the first episode. I am loving this thing. I'm going to record the second episode somewhere now. But I'll probably post one after the other. Thank you guys so much for staying with me. Bye.